I feel like it's been 10 plus years at this point, but we finally get a new Baby Keem album, and it's pretty good. Baby Keem is an artist that I never truly understood what all the hype was about, but I was looking forward to new music. I did enjoy his last project, but when I hear people say things like, Baby Keem is the future of hip hop, Baby Keem is gonna be one of the kings of hip hop, I don't get that from him. But he's a cool artist. This new album has been rumored and talked about for a while now, but we got confirmation a few weeks ago that he was indeed dropping, and Casino is finally here. Between the long gaps in his music and always being around Kendrick Lamar, I was hoping that this album was going to change my view on Baby Keem, and I was hoping that I was going to look at him as his own artist and not just as Kendrick Lamar's cousin. And I do like this album, but it doesn't do that for me. We'll talk about Kendrick in a second, but I like some of the things that Keem did with this project, the subject matter, especially on the songs when he's getting more personal. This album was perfect in length, only 11 songs and 36 minutes, and I thought the opening song, No Security, was a solid way to start the album. Keem gets personal off rip. He talks about his uncle Andre passing away and how he wished he could have done more to help him. He talks about his mom and his grandmother and how finances really get tough, especially when it comes to family. He also talks about bailing his family out of jail. I thought this was a really good way to start the album off, especially with the lyrical content. He's not talking in that annoying, high-pitched voice, and I really love the calm and simple production. Me personally, I would have been cool if we got 10 more songs exactly like this, but we immediately switch gears. We go straight into Casino, and the production on this song, the production on this entire album in general, I thought was fire. I be forgetting that Baby Keem is also a producer. He has production credits on every single song on this album. I don't know who does what when it comes to making the beats, but the fact that he's involved with the production shows that he has a great ear for beats. I hated this song when I first heard it because I hate when Keem raps in that super high-pitched voice. But this grew on me. Even though I like this song now, the first verse to me is still just whatever. It was just okay. I mainly like the beat. That first beat of this song is hard as hell, but especially the second beat is hard. And in that third verse where Keem was like, I ain't never been no nigga that stared at the wall and prayed that things was gonna change. That's that talk I like. I've listened to this album maybe 6 or 7 times, and I'm really liking this beginning portion of the project. And then we get into track 3, Birds and the Bees, and I do love this song, but it reminded me of my biggest problem with Keem. Keem oftentimes, at least in my opinion, he often sounds like someone else. And that's really noticeable to me. I love this song. I love Birds and the Bees. Every time I hear it, I move my hips a little bit. But the first verse on this song sounds exactly like Drake. When I first heard this song, it kept bothering me because I couldn't remember where I heard this flow from, and then it hit me. If you listen to Baby Keem at the very beginning of his verse, he's rapping in the same exact flow as Drake on Believe Me featuring Lil Wayne, and then the rest of that verse after that little part, he still sounds just like Drake. It's a lot of different points on this album where Keem sounds just like Kendrick Lamar. On House Money, that high-pitched flow Keem does sounds just like Kendrick at certain parts on N95. Circus Circus Freestyle, I thought, was another song that featured Kendrick. He sounds exactly like Kendrick at certain parts on this song. Kendrick on TV Off said that he'll cut his granny off if she don't see it how he sees it. Keem on Casino says he's going to cut his family off with how he's living. On the song I'm Not a Lyricist, at the beginning, he sounds exactly like Andre 3000. I thought I was tripping, but I saw other people on the internet saying the same thing. And then towards the end of this same exact song, in my opinion, he sounds exactly like GLC towards the end of Poe Man Dreams off of Section 80. And then at the very end of this song, he's talking in almost the same exact low-pitched voice that Kendrick was talking in throughout Section 80. And let me be very clear. This isn't me saying that this music is bad. Like, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or not, but I don't feel like this project showcased Baby Keem. I feel like this project showcased that he can make good music, but he sounds like other people. But even with that criticism, the music itself is still good. Like Highway 95 Part 2 for me is easily my favorite song on this album. Highway 95 on my first listen was the only song that I had to run back before I went on to the next song. But I love everything about this song. This is easily my favorite song on the album. I love the beat. I love the lyrical content that he's talking about. I love the flow. That flow he's doing on this to me is fire as hell. I don't know if he stole it. I don't know if somebody else sounds like that, but Keem on this sounds great in my opinion. I love this song, and it's depressing as hell. I don't know if that's the reason why I love it so much. This man said he was living in a ditch, his mama won't cooking, he lonely, his family doesn't have food stamps so everybody's hungry, I wake up as a burden, I'm the kid that nobody wanted. This man is pouring his soul out. This song is depressing as hell, and I was in my car lit. Dramatic Girl is another song that I really enjoyed. It sounds completely different. I love the energy. It's a good vibe. It reminds me in a weird way of the Let Out on J. Cole's album, just by how different it sounds and how it comes out of left field, but it works. Also, shout out to Shay Ekru. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, but this album made me want to go check out his stuff. He ends the album with No Blame, another slower personal record where he's talking about his experience with his mother again. And I enjoyed it. It is a lot to like about this album, especially if you can ignore the fact that he sounds like a bunch of different people. I guess in a way you can say he's kind of cheating, but the music is good. Keem shows that he has a lot of range as his vocals and production are all over the place. And I'm saying that in a good way. Like when it comes to the production on this album, I like the beat of every single song on this album, even on the songs that I don't like. Like Keem isn't the greatest rapper ever. He's not the most lyrical rapper ever, but he's a good enough rapper and he sounds good enough that you want to keep listening. Like I love the deep and personal lyrical content that we get throughout this album. It's a lot to like. And then we get to Kendrick Lamar. And don't get me wrong, I fully understand why Keem does it. If Kendrick Lamar was my cousin, I would be using him too. This might be a hot take. I want Baby Keem to stay far away from Kendrick. Good Flirts was such an amazing song until Kendrick came in with that bullshit. I thought the beat on this was smooth as hell. Baby Keem, in my opinion, he sounded great. I thought he was floating on this. Momo Boyd, I think is her name. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I thought she sounded great on this. Everything about this song was great. And then here comes y'all Lord and Savior to ruin the day. I do not want to hear Kendrick Lamar on these types of songs trying to sound like a sex symbol. To me, it doesn't work. Kendrick sounds completely out of place. It's kind of like J. Cole on that song with Miguel, Come Through and Chill. Miguel on his verse, he was talking that Talk to a Shorty, and then J. Cole, he was over here talking to the girl about Colin Kaepernick. It doesn't work. The weird voices that Kendrick Lamar has done in his music throughout the years is very hit or miss for me, and a lot of times I feel like he sounds so bad. And before you call me a hater, lyrically, I don't think this is a bad verse. Lyrically, I think this is actually pretty good. It's just the way that he delivered it sounds horrible. And then at the end of the song when he's like, I'm feeling on your booty, I'm feeling on your booty. Just stop it, bro. Go talk about, in retrospect, my respect for a Power Ranger or whatever the hell you be talking about. I could be wrong, but off the top of my head, the only Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar song that I like is Family Ties. That's it. Also, the song Sex Appeal featuring Too Short is probably the worst song on this entire album. I like the way Too Short sounded on this, but Baby Keem, I'm good on that. And then Circus Freestyle, throw that in the trash. But even with those criticisms, I do believe that Baby Keem did deliver with this project. I don't think it's an instant classic, even though I know this album just came out. I don't think it'll be viewed better than some of the albums that came out last year. I don't put this in the same class as like Eclipse, a Wale, a Tyler the Creator, or Chromacopia. I think that was last year. I don't think this is better than J. Cole The Fall Off that came out a week or two ago. I don't think this is the greatest album ever. I don't think this is a bad album. This is a good and cool project. So if you're new to the channel, whenever I review an album, I like to go back and say my 5 favorite songs from the project. And for this one, it was pretty easy for me. If I had to pick my 5 favorite songs from this album, I'm going with Casino, Birds and the Bees, I Am Not a Lyricist, Highway 95 Part 2 is my favorite overall song, and Dramatic Girl. I thought it was great. About 75-80% of Good Flirts is amazing, and that would have been in my top 5 if it wasn't for y'all Lord and Savior, man. I'm a big fan of Kendrick. I say all the time, I think Good Kid, Mad City is one of the greatest albums ever, regardless of genre. I'm not a Kendrick hater, but I realized that I'm good on almost everything Kendrick Lamar has done after Damn. That's y'all, man. Support your guy. But when it comes to Baby Keem, I enjoyed this album. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are you guys' thoughts on this album? I already know what you're gonna say. Kendrick Lamar was great on this album. This is gonna be album of the year. This is an instant classic. I already know what y'all gonna say. But regardless, let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.